Nei ko Nukarako.
A tēnā koe e te mana whakawā. E huri no te whare e mihi atu ka koutou katoa. A tēnā koutou o nā iwi o te Hiku, nā te Kuri, nā i takoto, te Raroa, tā Pauri. E nau mai me nā wawata mō tau iwi. Kia whai hua, kia whai tika. O rere e mihi atu ka koutou katoa. Mr. Speaker, it is indeed my pleasure to rise to speak on the second reading of the Te Hiku Settlement Bill. So when I look at this bill, there's 562 pages, including translations. And so the incredible thing, sir, is that it is probably a reflection also on how complex it has been, and in some ways still is. But, sir, this is actually the last stage at which we will be considering this bill as one. At the committee of the whole House stage, the bill indeed will be divided into 5 bills, which give effect to the deeds of settlement between the Crown and the 4 Muri Whenua iwi. So this is a hugely important settlement, as they all are, but this one particularly because 4 iwi whose past and present is actually very much entwined. That is why the 5 bills that will follow have been combined into one for most of the process. So as Chair of the Maori Affairs Select Committee, it was indeed an honour to actually preside over the consideration of such an important bill. And I want to acknowledge the whakawhanaukataka and the manaakitaka that was extended to my Maori Affairs Select Committee when we visited Kaitaia to actually hear the submissions. So, when a settlement bill concerns 4 different iwi, it also affects multiple surrounding iwis as well. So it's not surprising that there were various issues that actually did arise. So the first, I want to cover again because it has been touched on, but it was one I think is a very, very important take or issue that we did discuss, and it just shows, I think, the collegiality of the Māori Affairs Select Committee. Sir, this concerns the Kohu Police Station. Te Raroa's deed of settlement gives them the right of first refusal over this asset. So if it is ever declared surplus by the Crown. This inclusion has been opposed by Te Ihutai, who intend to negotiate with the Crown over this land through their Ngāpuhi claim. Te Raroa are fully in support of this land eventually ending up with Te Ihutai and have provided a letter of commitment to this effect. A letter of commitment to this effect. And so that reflects to me and to the Māori Affairs Select Committee is that immense form of kotahitaka that is working there to actually see this bill through. So there is really honest negotiations and discussions, and there is goodwill, sir, from all parties. So, sir, one of the issues at play here is that withdrawing the police station from the Te Raroa settlement would remove any guaranteed protection over it for either Te Raroa or Te Ihutai. So, the committee, sir, we were not entirely happy with this approach to the issue, preferring that Te Ihutai's interests be included in the legislation. We noted that Te Raroa do not wish this included in the legislation, but we're happy with their assurances and the letter of commitment. Therefore, sir, we have not recommended any changes to this arrangement. Sir, we have recommended, though, a change to what will become the Ngāti Kuri Claim Settlement Bill to extend the Pines Block. That was the 1.58 hectares of the Pines Block. This change reflects a further agreement reached between the iwi and the Crown to address the concerns, sir, over the road access. The other point or take that was highlighted by the previous speaker, Calvin Davis, was the Te Oneroa Atohe Board, sir, which is a permanent committee on which all 4 iwis will be represented equally. So this board will develop a beach management plan which will influence resource consents and planning in that area. Again, ko tahitaka working together for a common cause. So also we have the Korowai Redress Conservation Land, which is included in the settlements, which will be co-governed by the Crown and the Te Hiku iwi. So the various forms of cultural redress provided also, including the vesting of certain properties in the trustees of each iwi, statutory acknowledgements of the cultural, historical, spiritual and the traditional association of each iwi with certain statutory areas and protocols for crown minerals, fisheries and tauka tuturu. So the commercial redress is a very important part of any settlement. The redress does not try to make up for every wrong that has occurred in the past, because as we all know, and particularly in this one, is that the dollar value of what has been taken from these iwi would be impossible to repay. But what is important about the commercial redress is that it represents a change in the iwi's future. It provides an opportunity for an iwi to shape its own future to look after its people. And sir, when I was in the north, I did a sabbatical actually for a few weeks earlier in the year. But I had the opportunity, sir, to visit a number of these marae of Te Hiku. And sir, when you look at this magazine here, Te Kukupa, and when you look through this, sir, and then you look at these incredible rangatahi, all of that, education graduates, sir, tertiary education, when you look at environmental things that are going on there, particularly with rangatahi, when you look at kaumatua and their days and their health and all of that, and when you look through, with new wharenui being built, this tells you, sir, that this is actually on the cusp. And maybe it was on the other side of the house around us a bad example, I don't know. But at least, sir, it was this is a reflection on what is happening and what will happen and what will cause a catalyst, sir, with this legislation of that development of our people. And that is what this is about, Māori regional development. And so, sir, in looking at this particular claim, it is the second largest, and it's in the far north, which we've heard a lot about, but sir, this is definitely something where we see iwi working together, where the consensus across the country is that they can't work together. Well, this, sir, here, this legislation, this bill actually shows that the far north, Ngāpuhi, can actually work together. And we're really all very excited about this, and this is only the second reading. Sir, I have enjoyed really considering this bill. Fabulous people in the north, and working with them. And I just want to acknowledge those that have passed on, that had a great lot to do with this bill, and that, sir, that their dreams, their moemoeā will be realised. And I have no hesitation, sir, to recommend this bill to the House. Kia ora.
Pini Henere.
Tēnā koe e te māngai o te whare.